now entering the Better Broadcast podcast with Patty ASMR.
Epic.
Bam, that was a
perfect.
That was a good clap sync.
Awesome, dude. How are you doing, Patty? How are you doing?
I'm doing great, man. I'm glad to be here, be able to talk to you guys. Nice to meet you, by the way, Mason.
No, nice to meet you as well. We've never actually spoken at all.
Yeah, I've watched you. I don't know if you've watched me.
No, I've definitely looked up some of your videos. I'm not going to lie. I've tried to watch some of Matt's ASMR, and I've tried to watch some of your ASMR, but I'm not going to lie. It's just not really my particular thing, but I totally support it. I totally support Matt doing it, though. Like, it's awesome still.
Yeah.
Not
I tell
cool
all
kid.
my friends that if they're going to start watching ASMR, not to watch me because it won't work. If you know the person and you've known them for a really long time, it's going to be really hard.
Yeah.
That's very true. That could be a reason.
No, I guess that is true.
He could be just like trying to watch me to start. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I'm imagining watching one of my friends and it would do nothing for me. I would be laughing the whole time.
Yeah, because you know who they are as a person. I think part of the
Exactly.
relaxation is the mystery. You don't really.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And like unpredictableness.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So I'm actually interested. So have you ever been on a podcast?
No, never.
Dude, we're the first?
Oh, for sure. The
Awesome.
closest I've gotten is this guy from England. He interviewed me for like a class he was doing, and he was doing a whole website about what ASMR is and all the misconceptions and stuff. And so he did like a 30-minute interview and asked me some questions and stuff. That's the closest I've ever gotten.
That's pretty cool, though.
That's still awesome.
It was awesome.
There's this one ASMR guy. I think it's Sammy ASMR. He started doing like podcasts with specifically
Oh, yes.
Yeah. I saw
Yes.
I saw that whenever he had Sarah Manganese on.
Yeah, I've seen a few of those, and they're really good, actually. It kind of gives you, like, an insight into all the other ASMR artists' minds and stuff, like, out from behind the screen of ASMR, you know?
Yeah, and we wanted to definitely get into that with you, like
Yeah.
talking about more behind-the-scenes YouTube stuff, which I think
Yeah.
is going to be really cool. I think we can ease into that, though. That
Yeah.
could be a little bit farther into it.
Yeah.
But I am interested, so just for everybody watching, who obviously I think a lot of people here are probably going to be clicking on the title because your name's in it. So they're probably a lot of them people are going to know already. But you were from originally Alabama, right?
Very originally, I'm from Louisiana.
Louisiana.
Yeah.
Louisiana, I said, sorry.
But I lived in Alabama. I've lived there since I was, like, 3 or 4. And then very recently, I moved up here to Virginia. So
Oh, Virginia, yeah.
yeah.
Oh, sweet, dude. Yeah. So now you're closer, dude. I said about
Yeah.
someday we got to do
I
an
know.
in-person collab. Yeah.
I know, dude. If I can, I've been busy with work and stuff, but that would be the coolest thing ever. If
Yeah.
we do it like a part 2 of the podcast, it has to be in person.
Absolutely. That would be
That
awesome.
would be so sick. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So what do you do for work?
So I can't say exactly what I do,
Oh.
but I'm in just because I have top secret clearance, and they tell us like,
Wow.
you're only allowed to say a little bit. But basically, I can say I'm a systems engineer for Lockheed Martin, and that's really about it.
Okay.
So,
Very
That's
interesting.
pretty awesome, though.
That
Yeah,
is.
it's a lot of fun. I love it. But I have like a weird work schedule, so I work like 5 days on, 5 days off, and I do 12-hour shifts. So it's not what you would expect for engineering, but it's pretty cool.
So is that what you went to college for?
Yeah, I went to college for aerospace engineering.
Okay.
And if you you could technically say it's aerospace because it definitely is, but they label it systems. Anything that's like classified, they label systems engineering, so
Yeah.
they don't have to put any extra stuff on it. So
Man.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's really
Awesome.
cool. So you graduated, right?
yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm still.
I graduated in like last December, I think.
Okay, yeah. I have I think 2 semesters left.
Yeah.
And I always think whenever I talk to somebody like an engineer or like someone in science or something, I always think like, wow, their major seems a lot more important to society than what I do.
That's not true at all. You have to think how much time people spend like ingesting video and audio and things like that in their life. Like they use that way more than they use like the technical side of engineering stuff. So I think it's really important. It's also really super important for like the continuation of education and making education accessible to everyone like across the world.
Yeah.
It's super cool. So I would definitely not say that.
Yeah, I guess I think that whenever I'm just doing like a camera review or something, but I feel the importance of like the art of video more so whenever I'm doing like we're like Mason and I are doing like music videos with the Band Junkies, or like I'm doing work with I don't know if you've heard me talk about this, but I work with it's a medical cannabis company that helps people in specifically our state, Pennsylvania, Greenbridge Society. So those are like very educational videos trying to break the stigma about cannabis as like a medicine. And I feel like,
I think that's some like important stuff, honestly. Like whether it was you or it ended up being somebody else, regardless. I mean, I think everything that Ron does is really important work in that field.
And I feel like really honored whenever I do that.
No,
I'm
me
like,
too.
This
I mean,
is
I've
like
only
actually
done-
important stuff.
Like I've only done one shoot with them at that, and it was just awesome.
Yeah, I'm trying to take like Mason along and doing like a bunch of like video stuff because like he went to college for, well, why don't you tell him? Like you went to college for like, music and
originally
stuff?
I went to the Penn State School of Music as a music technology major. And it was just kind of, I don't know, it wasn't for me. Made me like not like it, so I dropped out. And now I'm kind of doing my own thing.
Yeah.
With the Band Junkies and
And he was like originally just like strictly audio, and then like we've been doing like more video stuff. And I personally I think video is like the future, and it's like my passion and stuff. So everybody around me, like my friends and family, I mainly just like friends, but I try to like get them to do like learn video and photography and stuff, and Mason is the only person that actually did it. But
that's cool though. You can, even though he's not in school, like you're still learning all the technical stuff, so you can pass some of that along.
It's like he's going to school for photography, and I'm also going to school for photography. You know what I mean?
he gets he's really the smarter one. He's getting the free education. Yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah, I've heard a lot about the Band Junkies just from Matt's videos, and it sounds super cool. So
I love doing work with Luke and all the artists that are local here and the ones that come from far away. Like we just had a guy come from like an hour away. Where was he from?
I'm not sure where he was from, but his name was
where he was
Garrett, but it's spelled like gear. Garrett Fitzpatrick, and he did a couple cover songs.
Yeah, they was pretty good.
We do it right in this space actually. So this
really?
This is like the Band Junkies
like right
basement.
where we're sitting is where he was sitting.
Yeah,
so cool. That's awesome.
But yeah, man, I'm interested to know, like, this is like a very cliche question, but if you've never been on a podcast, I gotta ask, like, how did you like get into like ASMR and stuff, and like what was like your first experience with it, and how did that like kind of develop into where you are now?
Yeah, so my first experience with it would have been in like, actually first ever was like when I was really young and I was at a YMCA camp, and I was laying on the ground for nap time, and I see this girl, she's like playing with the dust that's like falling down through the light stream. It's very specific, but I was just like watching it, and I felt like I was about to knock out just like that. And I was like a very rambunctious child. So to get me like tired that quickly was a huge feat. And I didn't realize till later that was kind of like probably ASMR that was like making me feel relaxed, because I was
like something satisfying.
Yeah, so focused on something, and it calms your body down really. And then second time I was in math class, and my teacher was sharpening pencils, and I don't know what it was. It was just like rhythmic, and it put me right to sleep. And so I realized that was ASMR when I went into middle school and started, like, I got my first pair of headphones and started listening to binaural stuff. And I was like, this is really, really cool. And it makes you feel like you're actually in the room with whatever the sound is, which I always thought was awesome. And so that got me into it. I started watching it every day, every night, just because it calms me down. It's enjoyable. It's like, if I want to go to sleep, I just put it on for 15 minutes and I'm automatically tired. And then starting the channel, and that was a different story. The pandemic started, and so I had a lot of time at home. And I mean, Alabama didn't really shut down that much, but it eventually, like, there wasn't a lot of stuff going on, so I had to find something to do. And I kind of wanted to give back to the community that had done a lot for me, because I was already 2 years into college and had been listening to ASMR a bunch.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I want to give back. I want to make videos, even if 100 people watch them. It would still be worth it for me and kind of cool.
Yeah.
And so I started doing it, and it just did a lot better than I thought it would. So it's been a lot of fun, and I've gotten to meet tons of people. Like, you are one great example. There's tons of other creators, but then there's also a ton of like my subscribers that I talk to a bunch, because they're just interesting people, and they'll like follow me on Instagram, and I'm like, okay, I'm curious, what's this person like? And I'll look through their Instagram, I'm like, dude, you are awesome. And I always tell them, like, if they have some sort of art or something they do, I'm like, this is really sick. Which a ton of my like people that follow me are creatives. I don't know if that has something to do with ASMR, but they're like very creative people, or they're really good artists and stuff like that. So it's very interesting.
I think I think there might be a connection, because it seems like the people that like get it and that are really into it tend to be more artistic. And definitely the people that like especially reject it, I would say. Like, I don't know. Maybe that's just a generalization.
What about me, bro?
Yeah, you're not artistic, Mason. No,
I'm a statistic anomaly.
You're an outlier.
Yeah.
I know math.
Yeah, I know that some people just don't feel it, and like maybe they try their hardest to, even like understand it, and they just can't. And I think it's just it has to do with everybody being different, our bodies being different, and also it can be like the mindset that you're in when you go to do it. Because if I'm just in like if my brain's just, I don't know, in a certain spot, then sometimes it does nothing for me. So
yeah, I definitely feel that. And it's just like anything that like you really enjoy, like you get like accustomed to it. You get a tinkle immunity, it's called. Mm-hmm. So like you need more and more. It's a drug.
Yeah. It's just different stuff. I think that's the big thing, getting like different ASMR and just finding new people and things you've never seen before, because everyone has their own personal style, and it all does like different things, and it all like, when you see someone with a new style, it like surprises you. So
yeah. So who's your favorite creator? Are you willing to pick favorites?
There's, every time that I talk about it, I can never stick to one person, because
okay, so like, who right now then?
It's different. Right now, I'm watching a lot of 3 people of JD Lady ASMR, Headphones Recommended, and Kelly Belly. So those are
bangers.
Yeah, those are 3 that I've been really into right now. But again, it changes all the time. Like I love Tiptoe, and I love your stuff, because for you it's like a different thing, because I feel like we are friends, and it's like it really feels like catching up, and it's like enjoyable and catching up at the same time. So there's different reasons for everything, I play you mostly in the car when I'm driving home from work, because I'm like, I want to see what Matt's up to today,
Oh, damn. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
It's funny, and that's why I watch all your Matt Jacobs channel videos too, because it's just another segue of how your life's going at the time.
Have you ever dove deep into the Matt Jacobs channel?
I remember I've seen a video of some sort of Thanksgiving thing. That's
exactly what I was hoping for. This is exactly what I was hoping for.
Yeah,
dude.
And I was dying. It was very funny, but it definitely gave me a more well-rounded idea of who Matt is as a person.
Yeah.
One of the like worst videos ever.
Dude, if I hadn't found the Band Junkies, game show would have been my legacy the pinnacle of my video creation. Because at the time, it was like, I was like so impressed with myself just to have 3 different camera angles at once. Like, so.
That was the best part, switching between the 3.
Yeah.
Oh, it was great.
Dude, yeah, so game show, that was a time. But him and I also, like, we were just talking about this while we were setting up, is we did this cover of this old this old country song that we did like a bluegrass cover of called
I saw that one too.
Yeah, 16 tons.
Ironically, it has 16,000 views.
Yeah.
Something like
That's
that.
what
Like
I
the
think
most
it was.
viewed
It's
video.
Like, yeah, it's your most viewed video. So when I like sorted by most viewed, that was one that I saw. It was cool though. I liked it. It was like down by the lake.
Yeah, dude.
Sure.
That was an awesome location. We like shot it like 3 or 4 separate times in the different locations, and then cut between the locations.
And just pick the best one take.
And then we pulled one audio. It turned out great.
The most interesting thing was that the guy on mandolin that rips like the crazy solo was our 10th grade English teacher.
And also our middle school principal.
Yeah, and also our middle
Yes.
school. So
That's amazing. Wow.
yeah. Dude. So what is your like favorite video that you put out? Because I have definitely the one example of like that stood out as like the most original, like most Patty thing, and I'm sure it might also be your answer as like the one single video, but
Yeah, mine has to be the roommates video
Yeah.
because those are like those guys make me, and my friends, make me. Like, people is just my life. I love people. I love bonding with people, and so like when I made a channel, like I don't care a lot what people think about me, but also all my friends are super nice and super supportive. So I was like telling them, and they'd always ask me like, "How's it going? Like, how are you doing?" They would always check in on me and leave comments, and so eventually I brought the idea to them, and they were psyched about it. They were stoked. They were like,
"That's awesome.
When are we gonna do it?" And they kept asking me for the next month. They were like, "When are we gonna do it?" Like, I'm like, everybody's got to be here. They would ask me when there's like 6 people at the house. I'm like,
You're like,
"Guys,
no.
yeah,
You have to
everyone's
have
gotta
everybody
be
in
here."
the house."
And even it seems like there's a lot of people in that video, but it's not even everybody. Like, we're missing 7 or 8 guys.
That's crazy.
so it was 20 people, right?
I can't remember if it was exactly 20. I have 20 roommates. So
Okay.
I just asked as many of them that were there that day.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I can't even remember how many. There were people in the back, though, that were short and didn't really want to be on screen.
Yeah.
So they were, like,
But they were
kinda in the
there.
back, like,
Still there, though. Still
So
there.
I'd say there was 20. It made for a
Yeah.
really good title, though. I
Yeah.
think it was,
Yes.
the title was like
ASMR with my
ASMR with my
20
20
roommates.
roommates,
Yeah.
which is like best title ever. And then you
I
have the
know.
thumbnail. Like, it's no wonder that video blew up, honestly.
Yeah. I was shocked. And Belle Delphine even commented on it. That
Whoa,
was the
what?
funniest thing ever.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that
That's
was
insane.
I remember
Yeah.
that. I remember you putting it on Instagram. You're like, Belle Delphine.
Dude, because I was beyond shocked. First of all, I didn't know who she was, and then so I clicked on her
Oh
profile
no.
And you're
Oh,
like, what's
yeah,
she
dude.
selling?
And you were just
oh,
like, well-
bathwater.
automatically, and so I like look up videos about her, and she's just got to be one of the most controversial
Yeah,
internet
that's
people
facts.
of all time.
That's very true.
So I was like, I gotta tell people because there's gonna be people that do know who she is, and they're gonna think it's
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, that was very
That's
hype.
awesome.
Do you have a second favorite that comes in under there? Is there any other like event videos that you had? Like the roommate video was like an event. It was like a movie. It was posted in the ASMR community.
Yeah. Oh. My second best video of all time is ASMR for people with ADHD.
Oh yeah.
And then I think my first pay attention video is one of my favorites because it just kind of like spoke to like I'm bad at coming up with things like that are new and fresh and different, but for some reason whenever I do things, they're just automatically weird and different. And so like it just came out of nowhere, had no clue that anyone was going to like it, and then people were like, "Please keep doing this." And it turned into like one of my most well-known like things basically. And
Yeah.
so it was cool that having that first video because that's the one that like very like other big ASMR artists would comment on and say this is really cool, and it just it was very encouraging as far as my video production because it gave me more of a determination. Like I just want to keep putting out good stuff. I want to keep putting out new stuff that people like and they watch and they're like, that's different and that's cool,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I'm interested with your experience with TikTok because Mason and I a year ago at this time did not get TikTok. We kind of refused to get it. We were like, this is so stupid.
I still think TikTok is so stupid, but it's just the way. It's just the way of the world right now.
Yeah. So I've actually tried to make the transition now to TikTok, and I'm like kind of finding like a little bit of success. But like, how was your thing on TikTok? Because I feel like you have as many followers on TikTok as on YouTube. Like,
Yeah,
and
I
didn't
have
you start
more,
that
actually.
after? Wow.
I
that's
did.
awesome.
I started it way after. First, a little bit of background. I had TikTok about 8 days after it came out, like the app.
Wow.
So I had it from the very beginning, right when they changed it from Musical.ly to TikTok. And I remember I would be making jokes and telling my friends all this stuff that they had no clue what I was even talking about. Because at first, people were very against TikTok. They're like, I'm not getting it. It's weird. And I told all my friends, I'm like, y'all have to. Y'all got to get it. It's so funny, so good. And then it started like blowing up. So I've been kind of in the TikTok like environment for a while, and it's very easy to see like how things work and what works and what doesn't.
Yeah.
And so eventually I was like, well, a lot of people are asking for me to make a TikTok. I'll do it. And the one thing about TikTok is it really does not matter what you post. If you post volume, something is going to get traction. Like there's so many people that you click on their profile and they have 40,000 subs because of some rando video they did a year ago. And so I just started putting out the exact same stuff I put out on my main channel, but just in 3-minute form. And the video that blew it up was like the cutting sounds thing that I did with my mouth. And people were freaking out over it. They're like, it sounds so realistic. He edited this, and it was just something that I kind of came up with.
You're just literally going like, right?
Yeah, I was just going just like that, and they
and people were like, "Holy shit!"
Yes, I think it got. I mean, it was in the millions of views.
Dude, that is
awesome.
so cool.
Yeah, it was. I just remember my phone blowing up. That was the first time my phone's ever like really blown up, because all my other videos were kind of a slow burn on YouTube. TikTok, it is a day to 2 day thing where you get everything.
Yeah.
And so I was shocked, and it, in all honesty, it completely changed my like subscriber base and fan base and the types of people that were like that liked my stuff, because before it was completely like people that were like into ASMR and liked ASMR.
Yeah.
Once it happened on TikTok, it was people that just said they liked my personality. Like they would literally comment like, I don't even know what this is, but I'm following because I like you. And
Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah, and so it changed a lot about, I guess, what people saw in my videos. And so then that's right about the time I started getting tons of comments of like, oh, I used to not like ASMR or male ASMR artists because it all seemed very weird. And then like I started watching your videos and I liked it. And I was like, well, like that's awesome. That makes me super happy that I can turn something that is kind of looked at weirdly sometimes and try to turn it into something that people enjoy and can be more comfortable around, I guess.
So here's something we were, okay, did you watch the iDubbbz Creator Clash?
Yeah, after you said something about it, it reminded me about it, and I went back and watched some of the fights.
Yeah.
We just watched a couple.
And
Yeah.
I used to watch iDubbbz all the time.
Me too.
Because he was so funny. Like his bad unboxings, I lose my mind laughing at those. But I was shocked at how well he did. The dude apparently that he was fighting had like 10 years of boxing
Plus,
experience.
like from just looking at it, it looked like he had like 30 pounds on him too.
Yeah.
Which is insane.
100%.
That's insane.
100%. The other dude was actually built like an athlete.
Yeah.
And Ian is just Ian.
Dude,
He
but
looked like he's
Ian
like a
moved
cancer
out there.
survivor.
Like he had the head movement, and he was like, it was awesome.
He did.
He gained
did.
so much respect because for the amount of shit he talked, he
Yeah.
backed that up. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
like,
Yeah, I was shocked. I thought he would be like a frail little child out there, honestly. Just from watching his videos for so long. That's like the vibe he gives
Yeah.
off.
At the beginning of like halfway through the match, Dr. Mike, that's his name, right?
yeah, Dr. Mike.
Dr. Mike, like they
Yeah.
were like walking back out after like the second round or whatever, and the audience was just booing Dr. Mike as he was walking on.
Yeah. Yeah. And then they had like the glove touch, and Dr. Mike like kind of got
Like
a cheap
shot
shot
at
in
him.
there.
Yeah.
But
he was getting scared,
sure.
bro. He was getting scared.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah. Did you notice that it was supposed to be for the final fight? It was supposed to be 4 3-minute rounds instead of 5 2-minute rounds like the rest of the fights. But it seemed like after Ian was kind of in trouble in the first round, all of a sudden they shaved the minute off and made all the rounds 2 minutes. And it,
really? I didn't notice
I
that.
think like they ended up like changing.
They
it
probably
up.
like didn't know what they were gonna do, just depending on how well he
Yeah,
held
if
up
he
in
lost
the first round.
that wouldn't
they
be
probably
a good
just had to
main
see.
event.
That's true. That makes sense.
So
yeah, it was good though. The ones I watched, they were pretty cool. I watched him, and then I watched. There's this finance guy that I watched.
Graham Stephan?
I can't remember his name. Graham Stephan. Yeah, I watched him, dude, and he is like a child. Like he looked.
yeah.
He looked like an 8th grader out there.
Yeah,
man,
he did.
But, you know.
Dude, did you watch Michael Reeves as well?
No, I don't think so.
He doesn't watch it. I expected that more.
I don't
people
watch
would know
all
about
these. I don't
Michael
watch all
Reeves.
these YouTubers. I know a couple of them by name.
Who's Michael Reeves? Maybe I've been on YouTube for a while, so I've probably seen a video.
So Michael Reeves is the guy who fought Graham Stephan and made Graham Stephan gave up. Did you see that? He was like,
yeah.
They're both like 120 pounds. Like, but Michael Reeves is just like this little. He's like this dude, and he does.
Oh, the little guys.
Yeah,
that was a good fight.
Yeah,
that was a good fight.
The lightest weight fight. And Michael is like a robotics YouTube channel. Like he creates like robots.
Oh, wow.
He makes like really stupid robots, but he's actually like really smart. And it's just like really he's a really entertaining channel. But
okay,
it was just that was an entertaining fight.
Yeah.
But Mason and I were talking about what if we had an ASMR League YouTube boxing event.
It could just be like
that would be hilarious.
Oh my god,
that would be hilarious. But I wouldn't do it because I know I would have to fight Raffy Taffy because me and him are the two. Me and him are the biggest ASM artists right now, and he's been doing boxing for like the past year or so.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
I've
your
been
time.
watching his
It's your time to
stories,
start.
And he goes out there and does boxing for like fitness and stuff.
Yeah.
And he's bigger than me already, so that would suck.
Dude, how tall are you, Patty?
I'm 6'3".
Okay.
Oh, so you meant okay. I was just making sure you meant
Yeah.
physically the biggest ASM artist. Yeah, I
Yes,
thought
yeah.
that's what you meant, but yeah, dude, yeah, Raffy looks like a beast. I wouldn't mess with Raffy.
That's exactly, and he shaved his head recently and has like his beard is like the best beard I've ever seen. It's great.
But who's the other guy? He's like I'm pretty sure he's British. He also has a beard and he's like jacked, and he does like
And he does mouth sounds.
he does like he's like Englishman Lego role plays.
Englishman knife
Okay,
ASMR.
I might have
What's
seen
his
that.
name, dude? Frederick or something. It's like Fred. No, Fred's voice. That's what it is.
Oh yes.
Dude,
Okay,
he would be the
I know you're talking
ultimate beast in the ring.
Yeah.
Like,
And I think Blissful Zen would be really good.
Dude, Fred's
he would
voice
be
versus
so fast.
Fred's voice versus Blissful Zen would be the fight of the century. Because
Dude, the best would be trying to find female matchups.
Oh,
that
dude.
would
All
be
the female
funniest.
who's
ASMR
Kelly
artists.
Belly going against?
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, Sarah
Oh, it'd be
Manganese out
so
there would
funny.
be unhinged. She would just
Yeah. Oh my god. I can't imagine. I would love to see it. I just would love to see the form that these girls have trying to.
Dude,
find
I bet you
things
Sarah
like-
Manganese, she's like super athletic. I bet she would be like
Yeah.
super technical out there. Like
Yeah. for
that would be
sure,
so
for sure.
crazy. But we were just imagining if we made that a sketch of like ASMR boxing of like them going
Yeah.
out.
I
and
just
then-
imagine it's
Yeah.
like you're like squaring up, and then you're like you're going down.
they're doing the the pre-fight interviews, and they're like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna
Yeah.
go out there. I'm gonna rock him around. He's not gonna see it coming."
Dude,
Yeah, you just
You
like
can make it a whole
Yeah.
thing. You can make it a
they
whole
go out
thing.
there, they're just like rubbing the gloves.
Yeah.
And they're
Or they're like
It
knocking
really
their
needs
gloves
to be-
together really, really lightly.
yeah.
It would really need to be pillow fighting instead. I
Oh
think
my
that
God.
Would be more on brand.
Yeah,
like
that would
pillow
be great.
gloves or
No, they just
something.
have.
That'd
That's
be
what their
crazy.
gloves
That'd
are
be
just
so
pillows
funny.
taped to their hands.
That'd be so funny.
I'm gonna put you to sleep. They say.
Dude, I cannot imagine.
That's a good one.
I'm gonna push you to
That's a
sleep.
good one.
That's great.
Oh my gosh. We'll make it happen someday.
Dude, we're gonna
That'd be
make
so
the
awesome.
ASMR boxing league. That would be
Oh,
a crazy
gosh.
event. That'd be super niche, but
Oh,
the
yeah.
people watching that would go insane.
Yeah, oh yeah. They'd be cracking up. Gosh.
So I also talked to you. I wanted to talk about like some more like behind the scenes stuff about like your strategy and how you think about coming up with like ideas, titles, just structuring your channel and how you present yourself to the world. People don't realize that you think about every little thing about this whenever you put yourself out there, and people just think that I don't know, they don't realize like the work and the thought that goes into it. So I want to hear your perspective on that.
Yeah, I agree. I think definitely at the beginning, I was even more just conscientious about like what I want to do, like what like I try to at least have some sort of plan going into it. Even though sometimes that falls to the wayside and I just start doing whatever comes to my mind in the moment. But like a huge part of getting ready is like trying to find a quiet time. It is one of the hardest things ever because like you have to turn your air conditioning off. You have to turn all your fans off, and I have a fan going like 24/7.
Yeah.
And then you have to make sure your roommates aren't going to be loud. And so that's a big deal. It's hard to find that moment that's like a good time to film a video. But then also, like I said, I come up with a plan about what I'm going to do, try to make sure like what I'm going to do is even going to sound good and it's going to translate from my mind to actually doing it. And then there's all the setup and stuff as far as like, granted, I just use my computer as like a ring light kind of because it just works well and my monitor puts off good light that's not too harsh or anything. And yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot to try to come up with new ideas, try to do different stuff. And I think eventually once I had a sort of following, it felt more like I could do just like whatever came to my mind, even if it was out there, even if it was something no one's ever done before, because I knew, like, first of all, people would say they liked it, even if they didn't. Everyone's so supportive on my channel.
Yeah.
But then also, like, if something did hit, then it was like a big deal because people were like, "Oh, please do that again."
Yeah.
And
Did
so
as you like gain more of a following, like I know this so just from like watching Matt like slowly gain a following over this past like I guess more so over this past year since you've started doing ASMR stuff. But like as you gained more of a following, did your audience help you with ideas? Like did you find that often you were like seeing in the comments like people were suggesting like creative ideas and stuff where you're like, "Oh, that's actually a good idea, something that I could do and that would turn out very well."
Yeah.
yeah, that it definitely because we get so many suggestions as far as ASMR because people hear something from someone else and they're like, "This is perfect. This is exactly what I like." I'm trying to think. There is actually a video that I put out literally 100% based on a comment that someone left me, and it did really well. And I said at the beginning of the video, I was like this is this person's comment, like that's why I'm doing it. But like it was awesome. And so I think using your feedback from the people that are watching you can be so valuable because they know exactly what they want, and you granted you have to filter it through what you think, but
exactly.
because you can get thousands of like suggestions and stuff, but you'll see one and you're like, wow, that's a really good idea, and I personally would like to watch that, so I'm gonna make a video.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so you start leaning into them, and then once you get community posts, you can even ask them directly and say,
"Anybody got any ideas?
What type of video do you want to see?"
Yeah,
exactly.
I like running polls because then I can take.
Yeah.
It is like the ASMR community is so like positive that that it is kind of hard to gauge like what is actually a good idea. So what I try to do is I filter it in a way that like I can do a poll and I can come up with like 3 ideas that I know that I think are good, and then I can have them pick out of that, because like if I just like put out just like give me suggestions, like it could just be all over the place. Every comment's different. There's no similarity between them. So how am I supposed to like figure out what people want in general? It could be somewhat difficult like that.
I agree.
Especially whenever like you're an ASMR artist who is like not even like on purpose like has developed like kind of their own niche. Like especially you, like you have like the kind of like soft like speaking thing. Like there's not from what I've seen, there's not a whole lot of ASMR artists who like actually just talk while they're doing ASMR.
Yeah, yeah. Patty and I feel like are some of the few, and some
for sure.
But I just forget to whisper anyway, so it just became my brand.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and also Matt's other thing is just like the technical talk and stuff. That's just so. It's just so easy to get your brain lost in a good way, and so that's like if I would stamp something on his channel, it would be like something like that. And as well as just one thing that impresses me most about Matt is always has a new good idea, always knows how to bring it to life instead of just coming up with it in his brain and doing it half-heartedly. He like makes it happen, and so it's always awesome watching his videos and be like, what's he gonna come up with next?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you, dude. That I really appreciate.
That is very true.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
Yeah, and that's the thing is I feel like I don't post like as often as I could, but I try to make sure it's good when it comes out.
Like right now, I mean, you just like finished your like last semester for the year. And like right now, you're gonna have a lot more time, so I'm sure you are gonna start posting more often.
Oh yeah, definitely.
As you like start doing more stuff here.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
I always love when you can get into a rhythm, you know, and it's so funny because like I see how much I value like a constant posting schedule and stuff in other creators, and then somehow for me I'm like, well, you know, nobody really wants to watch me every day, so I just like forget and I don't post, you know, and it's such a duality.
And then they're like, where were you?
Yeah, they're like, I miss you. Yeah, like you get that comment.
Ah, dang.
But it's actually that's kind of in hand with something I was gonna ask you is like, well, do you find yourself just like you come up with a video and you post it the next day or that day, or do you like
let the idea stew a little bit?
That, but also at the beginning of my channel, I found that like I was recording so much because I was just so into like filming and coming out with the next thing that I would have like 3 or 5 videos ready to go at a time.
I wish, dude. I have never had even a single video lined up ready to go. Like,
no, fair enough.
Every video I post the moment after it's done editing, and I don't I usually don't record another one until like it comes time, even until I feel like it's time. So like I'll be looking at my like recents or whatever or looking at comments, and I'm like, oh, this is from like 6 days ago. Like, dang, it's getting a little like a lot of time in between.
Yeah.
That's when I decide to post, and it all happens in the same day. But I've wanted to get better at like catching up on videos and having some for when I'm not there, or if I don't feel like, you know, recording that day.
Yeah. I feel like that's like an issue with a lot of, or not necessarily even an issue, just it's a thing that people who are creative have to deal with, where it's like if you're not feeling it, it's just not gonna happen exactly the way you want it to, or the way you even need it to.
Yeah.
And it's just not going to be as good as whenever you're like, all right, it's time to record this video. I know exactly what's happening.
Yeah.
I mean, I have that a lot with like when I'm producing like music or editing pretty much anything.
Yeah.
I mean, you just have to catch yourself at the right time.
Yeah.
And my commenters realize like that. Like I will have comments that are basically spot on. Like they're like, Patty, you didn't seem like
you were feeling
as
it
happy today. Yeah, or you just didn't seem like you today. And I'm like, if only you knew, like, you're spot on. I was not, I didn't want to film today. I just kind of did it because, you know I want to provide for them.
Yeah.
So.
No, that's the thing is they see right through you, and you have to, you can't ever phone it in because that's something that like I've seen so many, well, there's been like really big content creators on a much like more intense scale where they're like, I don't know, they're really like phoning it in. Yeah. Like I'm not saying that's what you're doing. I'm trying to make sure I'm not making that a comparison. But like you see that like the audience, they see that, and like there's no hiding it from them. So
there was a writer. I can't exactly remember his name. I want to say it's Robert Mueller, but I don't know if that's correct. But he used to he said that you in order for the muse to come, you must pray to the muse and attend it every day.
Yeah.
And he actually he used to before he sat down at his laptop and opened it up and start writing however much he was going to write for that day, he used to say an actual prayer out loud, to the muses, and he believed that it really helped him channel his creativity.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you do anything to get yourself? Because this is something I don't feel like a lot of people talk about, but I find filming to be exhausting. Mentally very exhausting.
That's true. I mean, even though I don't do it as often as you do, even whenever we just do a shoot here and we're doing a couple videos, switching off camera stuff, I mean, I'm tired after that.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I feel like especially being on camera, because you're very mentally thinking about, especially when I'm doing a lo-fi video on my phone, I go into it knowing that I'm not gonna edit it. So I'm trying to improvise and keep it going the whole time.
Yeah.
And that's especially mentally taxing, but even just filming when I know I can edit it, how do you feel about that?
Yeah. I would say it's actually interesting. For me, I feel kind of the opposite. If it's a high quality video that I have to edit afterwards and stuff, I don't know. It's a lot on my mind. It's oh, I got to do this later. But when I just press go and do lo-fi, most everything that comes out of my mouth is just thought of on the spot, and it's very relaxing for me. I've always loved talking to people.
And there's something to be said for that style of being creative.
Yeah.
Just off the top of your head. I mean,
it feels and this is a weird way to put it, but sometimes it feels like a diary. You have a journal or a diary that you're writing in, but instead I get to talk to 70,000 people, and and it's so cool because it's hey, you have a journal that talks back to you.
Yeah.
And so I really enjoy that. And after I'm done with a video, it's usually oh, that was awesome. And I'm giddy to put it out and see what people say. And I'm this is going to be so sick. I can't wait to see if people like this. And, they get to update me on their lives and stuff. Because, I mean, I don't know if y'all have ever scrolled through my comments, but a lot of my comments are people Patty, I just did this. I just had a test, or I just did this. And they're literally just telling me about their lives. And I love it. I get to stay updated with people that, I've come to know just from the internet.
Yeah,
so
that is great.
I mean, ASMR is just, again, I'm not into it, but just from seeing the community that Matt has founded and hearing you talk about the community that has formed around your channel, ASMR as a whole just seems like it has a lot of really great people who are into it and in the community and I don't know, it just seems like a pretty wholesome little side of YouTube,
It definitely is. I would agree on that.
Yeah, kind of circling back, I said about I feel like just specifically the filming process, because I'm so on for the filming. I'm trying to it's weird to put it this way, but put on a good show. I'm trying to be entertaining, be funny, and I feel like that does come across. I get people that are I don't know. I get the comments that are you're charming or whatever. I wouldn't put it that way, but I'm trying to be entertaining. So in that sense, it's exhausting. But everything, like you said, being excited to put it out there, everything else that goes along with making a video and actually posting it and getting the feedback, that part I'm always very excited for. And usually once I actually get around to filming a video, it's not long before I edit it and put it out as well.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
So, one last thing. I wanted to ask you I wanted to kind of get into more future plans, and then we also wanted to talk about, this would be more Mason's forte.
Yeah, we just always have a little pop culture segment toward the end.
Yeah.
Just
nice.
So, but one last ASMR thing. Let's get to the pop culture segment. I'm interested to know, because obviously you're an engineer, right? And you have a job already in that. So what are your plans moving forward with your channel and how that's going to tie in with your job? Are you just planning to do them both? Or, what's going on?
So right now, the way my schedule is, there's basically 5 days where I can't do anything because I'm doing 12-hour shifts, and the day is basically done for. And so it has to be on the 5 days off that I film or do stuff. And a lot of times when I get to those days, I just feel like I want to go do stuff outside. I mean, I've been on a computer all day, you know. I want to go hike. I want to go hang out with friends and stuff like that. So I feel like that's what's kind of caused, I guess, like a strain on my YouTube posting and stuff like that. But sometime in the future, within a year or so, I will be doing something different, whether it be at the same place, doing more 9 to 5 work and weekday work, or even if it's at a different place. So, like, I'm hoping to be able to get more into ASMR, and because I do have a passion for it, and I have a passion for people, and I love just the avenue it gets me to talk to people and to be able to make friends and stuff. And so I want to put more effort into it and stuff. I don't exactly know the way that I want to do that yet, but basically I just want to be more consistent. I think if I had a single goal for my channel, it would be to be more consistent so that, like, when people need for me to be there, then I can. And it's kind of weird to say it that way, but like, some people use ASMR for like very purposeful reasons.
Yeah, absolutely.
And not just for fun, and not just for like, oh, willy-nilly, I want to fall asleep better. Like, I've had people comment that have autism, and they say, I use your videos to practice eye contact in social situations. And then I've had people that were like, I show this to my son, and he has some sort of mental disability, but he, like, it's the one thing that calms him down before bed. And so that, like, gets to my heart and gives me more of a, like, want to be able to help these people and serve these people in some way that they deserve, because of all the support that they give me, you know, like people deserve someone that can be consistent. And so I think that would be one of my best, like, #1 goals for the future.
I have a similar kind of story to kind of what you were saying. I had a follower named Ben, and I think he still watches me. He was a patron at one point and all this stuff. And I remember he got a custom video from me once, and he allowed me to put it on my channel. And when I put it out there, he left this super long, very heartfelt comment about how his ailment, and how it genuinely really helped him and helped improve his quality of living. And
Exactly.
I feel like I didn't even think about the impact or the seriousness of my channel before that. I just was kind of doing it because it was something I wanted to try, but that really solidified it as, like, something that's, like, purposeful, and, like, I should continue doing, because it is, in a way, it's helping people. It's not for me. Yeah.
I agree.
But yeah,
For sure.
Absolutely.
I think that was very, very good. So one last question I want to know is, do you think you would ever consider doing ASMR full time, or do you think engineering is always going to be a part of it? Is that your real passion?
Well, I do have a passion for engineering, but I think it's more than that. I just will always have many different things. I mean, just having ADHD, your mind is not okay with just one thing all the time. And so there's times when my brain craves to go do engineering work. There's times when my brain craves to do ASMR. And then there's times when my brain craves to do things that I have not even, like, cultivated yet, as far as, like, starting businesses and things like that I have planned for the future. And so it will never be just my one and done sort of deal. I will always do it. And also, I don't ever want to think about it as, like, a livelihood. I just like, I stopped watching just kind of the money and the stuff about it, and, like, I just really like putting out videos because I like it. And the moment that changes is when I'll think, like, maybe I need to take a break for a little bit and, like, recenter my focus on, like, why I started this channel, because I did not start the channel thinking that I would even make a cent. And that's what I want to keep in my head, is, like, I want to do this because of why I started. And so it will never be full time for me or the only thing that I do.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
For sure.
And I think that'll honestly be the same for me. I think I want to continue working on and building the channel and the following around it, but I'll always want to have my photography and my videography and my music and my podcast and this and the next and the next.
Yeah, you have so many like ideas and so many like dreams for like where you can put your creativity, you know? So like I think for you it's even more important to like always keep those avenues open because you make a lot of good stuff. I think at least. Thank you. And, it's like it would be a shame for any one of those things to be neglected. You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's an honor that you actually like not only watch the ASMR things, like that's cool enough, but then that you actually watch all the Matt Jacobs things. That like blows my mind. I can't believe that. It makes it very real for like the motivation behind to keep going.
yeah, dude, I love it. I'll support whatever you put out, honestly.
So, awesome. Yeah, we've talked all about the ASMR, behind the scenes, YouTube stuff.
Yeah.
Now let's just do a little bit more. Let's have a less heavy conversation just about what you like.
Yeah. So, what kind of like media are you into besides YouTube stuff? Like do you like Marvel movies, Star Wars stuff?
I dive into just a ton of different stuff. I like anything with a really expansive world.
Me too.
I've been really interested in the Dune universe recently since the movie came out. That's been super cool. I love Lord of the Rings, Marvel.
Have you seen, particularly I wanted to ask about the new Doctor Strange movie, The Multiverse of Madness.
Haven't seen it yet, but I want to. I've
We
heard
won't
mixed
delve-
reviews.
We won't delve too deep into it because there are some heavy spoilers, and I personally I think it's one of my favorite Marvel movies.
Yeah.
Really? Wow.
Him and I went somehow. It was the night before it was officially released. Somehow.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, because sometimes they release it like as soon as they get the film, they put it out in our theater for some reason, which is I'm sure Marvel would hate if they knew that happened.
yeah. They'd be like, what?
Yeah,
we watched it.
But we went to see it, and I don't know if you're caught up on the shows or anything, but it has some heavy tie-ins to WandaVision, and with the character of Wanda, and it's just
that's what I've heard.
It's just so visually stunning, and the story is insane. And Sam Raimi as the director, if you've ever seen any of the Evil Dead films, so many just like references to specific shots and like iconic moments. It's just insane.
What about have you ever watched the original Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire?
Yeah, oh yeah. That was
that's Sam Raimi.
Yeah, those
Sam Raimi.
Those three movies were Sam Raimi. So when you watch this Multiverse of Madness film, you can see a lot of similar visual distinctive things like from him as a director.
cool.
Absolutely.
That'll be awesome, actually.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see it. I can't wait.
What specifically have you been into recently? Besides maybe Dune, I know you already mentioned.
Recently I've been catching up on The Walking Dead. I love that universe. It's cool. Anything post-apocalyptic has always been a huge interest of me. Just because it's kind of cool to see like what people like turn into after like all basically society is different. So like The Walking Dead is like that. The 100 is another show that I loved.
A good one.
Yeah. And then also I love anything with Vikings, like any historical fiction, super cool. So Marco Polo or Vikings or The Last Kingdom, all those things I like.
Have you ever seen the show Norseman on Netflix?
I haven't. That's on my list because it looks really cool.
It is one of my all-time favorite television comedies. It is one of my all-time favorite television comedies. It's so funny. It's like the driest humor ever. I love it. I love it so much.
Yeah. That
definitely recommend.
There's a movie that just came out called The Northman that looks crazy good. It's like visually it looks really cool, and it's definitely different than anything I've ever seen. Like the trailer, at least.
I'll have to check that out. I have not seen that.
Yeah, look at the trailer. I think you would really like it just because. Even just from the trailer, it's like I just can't wait to watch this. So I have a lot of stuff lined up and not enough time to do it, you know?
No, absolutely.
Have you ever watched Breaking Bad?
I watched a little bit of it. Didn't get into that one as quickly. So
no, Breaking Bad's kind of like a slow burn to get into it.
Okay,
that's very true.
Have
you seen any of the new trailers for the Kenobi show?
I have seen. Yes, that looks good. I'm excited because I love the Star Wars universe.
Yeah,
and so And my dad's who really got me into all this stuff. He started me out watching sci-fi at the age of like 9.
Yeah.
And so me and him would sit and watch that channel all day, whenever he had like off and stuff on the weekends. And it like really gave me a love for anything science fiction, anything fantasy. Absolutely. And so Star Wars hand in hand. He loves Star Wars. He knows all the lore and everything about it. So it's pretty cool.
My favorite part.
Yeah, he'll like, we'll be watching the movie and he's like, do you know why this? And I was like, no, what? And then he'll explain it to me and I'm like, I had no clue that was even a thing. So.
Yeah. Yeah, we recently, I did that Star Wars ASMR with the lightsaber.
Yeah, dude,
I got that,
cool.
and Mason was losing his mind at the lightsaber, dude.
It was so cool. I loved it. I love the fog machine. That's been a great new addition to the channel.
Dude,
wait,
we
is
got
it plugged
that
in right now?
No, that would have been great. 'Cause we actually had it on
normally
the
it's
first
like
podcast.
under our feet, like ready to go and at a moment's notice.
It's so fun. I love it.
Yeah, I just remember like using it on every video when I got it, and I was like, maybe I should stop.
No, it's hilarious.
Especially for like photography, like whenever we're doing those cinematic portraits, like it added so much depth to it.
On my photography Instagram, we did one of Mason with the lightsaber as a Sith.
Well, both the one with the wizard and the
and he
one
was also
with
a wizard, and we used the fog machine on both of them. And I created these like character portraits to make him look like a character from like a movie.
Yeah,
and,
I need to look at that. That'd be cool, dude. My favorite picture from you ever, Matt, is the one of the dude playing saxophone.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that guy.
Dude, I thought that was such a good picture. It was so good. I was like,
thank you. Yeah.
I wish I had a picture of myself like that.
You know what's actually crazy is that I took that picture. That was just like a kid that happened to be playing with like all these older dudes playing jazz, and I took that picture, and it was like a weekly thing with like a local thing with the Band Junkies, and we obviously sent that to them, and that kid was still in high school at that point, and whenever he graduated high school, he reached out to me and had me do his senior portraits because of that picture.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
That I just couldn't believe that's like such a cool story that you actually that stuck out to you. Like
Yeah, it did. It was one of my favorite pictures. So
thanks, bro. Yeah, I appreciate that a lot. Is there? Do we have anything else?
I don't think we had anything else planned. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about, Patty?
The last last podcast when y'all called me out at the end.
This is Patty ASMR. He has 70,000 subscribers. He said, "Bro, the outfit is sick. I wish I had style like that."
How many subscribers does he have?
70,000.
Let me know when you hit 100K.
Oh yeah.
Dude,
Totally
that
forgot
had me
about
dying.
that.
He said,
Okay.
He said, call me when you get 100,000.
100,000.
Dude, I lost it. I was actually in the gym listening to you because you had
I'm just
texted
glad
me.
you made it to the end.
Yeah.
honestly.
God, I like almost spit up, dude, my water. I was laughing so hard. It was really bad.
Dude, he's gonna really appreciate
That's
when he
so
watches
great.
this back.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell me when you hit 100K.
Yeah. His sense of humor had me dying the whole time.
No,
He's a really
Luke's so
guy.
funny.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
that looks really funny. Okay, one very final thing, and I think we're gonna sign off. I just wanted to get a story on this because you posted an infamous picture of a baby pig on your Instagram.
Oh yeah.
And I would love to hear the story about how you came across that pig.
Yeah. Oh, I love that guy. Her name. At first we thought it was a guy, but once we realized it was a girl, I named him Julius Caesar, so we named her Julia Caesar.
Okay.
She was awesome. But basically, we were sitting at home one day, and it was after we had went to sleep. We woke up pretty early because we heard something downstairs. And we go downstairs, and there is 2 baby pigs in our living room. And
Just in this frat house.
Yeah, basically.
That's
it was
so
basically
crazy.
a frat house.
That's so
But
crazy.
It was just like we were like, what the heck is going on? And so we start texting everybody. We're like, who did this? Like, who's got the pigs? Haha, this is a funny joke. Can I tell you, no one ever took credit for this. No one ever, like, there was no ramifications. We just kept the pigs. And so we named them Genghis Khan and Julius Caesar. And
That's incredible.
Yeah, and started taking care of them, and they were so fun. And if you've never been around a pig before, think of the fastest animal you've ever seen in person, and now make it a little bit faster, and that's how fast pigs run. They are insane. Like a dog I can catch, a pig you have no chance at catching because they can turn in a moment's notice. And like,
wow.
Yeah, I started chasing after Genghis because he got out and was running in the street. And he took me on a goose chase around the city and then cut my like toe from like my big toe down to like the middle of my foot. It was so crazy. But I finally got him with the help of some other people. They were awesome. It was one of the coolest moments ever. So that's my third exotic animal, I would say. Like the first, I had 2 ducks, and then I had 2 pigs, and then we had 2 goats at the house. So we've done all 3, and I think
that's awesome.
Pigs were my favorite out of all of them, and they don't smell bad.
Awesome.
So
was that all within one semester? You had all those animals?
No, it was all different years actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Did you end up having to like give them to a farm or something?
Yeah,
they
we
like
did.
got too big.
Yeah, we gave them to a friend of ours farm upstate, and they were just gonna take care of them, and like they weren't gonna kill them. That was like our only. We were like, we're not sending them somewhere to get slaughtered.
You're gonna take care of them.
Yeah.
Send them to the farm.
They're going upstate. Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
All right, I'm just kidding. We're just kidding, obviously. We do not endorse. We want Genghis and Julius Caesar to live
safe.
a long and healthy life.
Yeah, and then at the house we also had some we had some birds that would come in from every now and then a squirrel we got caught in the roof, and so it was like in our attic making noise, and my buddy thought it was a homeless guy like trying to squat in our attic, and
So I'm curious, did this house have like a front door to keep animals out? Because it doesn't sound like it.
Okay,
It's just like always open.
Yeah.
It did, but then there was just so many like vulnerabilities in this house. Like the roof was not fit on correctly. Basically, we spent thousands on air conditioning every month because there was nothing.
It was just not insulated.
There was nothing to keep air in. Like it was open to the world most of the time, and there would be like little cracks or things, seams that didn't line up. So we never knew how they got in, but they did. So
wow,
it was crazy. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on,
thank
Patty.
you so much.
We really appreciate your time. This was great.
Yeah,
and
it was a lot of fun.
I feel like we should definitely try to in like a year or two's time. We got to go for the second round.
Awesome.
That would be
awesome.
The podcast is huge. It's gonna be great.
That'd be really cool.
Hopefully this is the one, right? The one that blows up.
Yeah. Thank you
so much for coming on, Patty.
And I wish you all the best. Good luck on your channel, and keep rocking it, dude.
Yeah, nice meeting you, Patty.
Yeah, nice meeting you guys. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man.
See you,
Peace.
dude.
Bye.
You are now leaving the Better Broadcast podcast.
Goodbye. Evil Genius Mode. Leave a like if you enjoyed, or comment down below. Be sure to stay tuned for the next installment of BBP.